Hi, welcome to the Luminousz Star channel. I'm Luminousz Star. Everyone who is a current subscriber, you already know how much I appreciate you. Mwah. Thank you so much for your subscription. Thank you for joining me today or tonight, wherever you may be. Thank you for motivating me and inspiring me to keep Luminousz Star channel active. Everyone who's joining me for the first time, welcome to Luminousz Star. And why don't you scroll down and hit that subscription button below and become a part of the Star family. Okay, so today's video, we're going to be talking about replacing the narcissist with a new lover. Okay? Okay, so today's video is replacing the narcissist with a new lover. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be celebrating Valentine's. A lot of you still have memories, maybe not so pleasant, of the narcissist, and maybe you have given up on love. So in this video, I want to encourage you to not give up on love, okay? You don't want to give up on yourself. Please scroll down below where the description box is. Check out the information there, and please like and share this video. You know, a lot of people misuse the word love. When it comes to romance, the one thing that a lot of us overlook is finding out what our definition or what our perception is of three areas. That's love, forgiveness, and relationships. A lot of couples, this is amazing, but a lot of couples get together and they don't have the same perception of those three areas: love, forgiveness, and relationships. So of course, this can cause some issues. This can cause some challenges. This can cause some unnecessary conflicts. Every relationship, even the best of relationships, has conflicts, issues, and challenges. One of the things that I look for in a partner is somebody who's going to team up with me and tackle the challenges instead of us blaming each other, pointing the finger and beating each other up. No, we want to tackle the issues, right? Okay, I know that sounds cliche, and I know that may sound like that will only happen in a perfect world. But let's face it, there are couples who manage to stay together and have healthy relationships. So it can be done. Okay, so I want to point out that there are certain areas that the narcissist and the cluster B personality has major impairments in. Number one is intimacy. Number two is empathy. So when you add that up, it's almost impossible to have a healthy romantic relationship with a narcissist or a cluster B personality. Okay, so what to do? We're going to go over that in this video. I'm going to be sharing some points and some tools and also critical questions. Having said all that, I want to remind everyone to check the description box below for further details to today's video. And wherever you are right now, of course, I wish you the very best. But not only that, on this Valentine's, I wish you the greatest and best love. Stay tuned for the video. Mwah. Hello, this is Luminousz Star, and welcome to the channel. Replace the narcissist with a new lover. All of you who are my stars, mwah, thank you so much for your subscription. Thank you for motivating me and inspiring me to keep Luminousz Star channel active. Everyone who's visiting for the first time, welcome to Luminousz Star, and join the Star family by scrolling down and hitting that subscription button below. Please like and share today's video, and I want to thank everyone in advance for your time. Okay, first point. There are many personal definitions of the word love. These definitions do vary from individual to individual. Many couples who are romantically involved do not share the same perspective of love and relationships, which reflects a lack of resonance that often leads to toxic feelings. So there are a lot of romantic couples, not all, but there are certainly a significant amount that are romantically involved and they lack resonance with one another. What that means is that they don't share similar perspectives of relationships and love. Okay, one person has a way that they look at relationships or how the romance ought to go. The other person doesn't exactly feel the same way, yet they are a romantic couple. There's a lot of things that they like about each other, okay? However, there are certain things that they don't resonate with one another about, such as how a romance or a romantic relationship, even a sexual relationship, ought to be conducted. When it comes to love, even forgiveness, he or she or they or them, they don't share the same perspective. Therefore, there's a lack of resonance. Okay, because I have to tell you all something. I've made this mistake in the past. I mean, we all have. We've all been in romantic relationships where we didn't quite see eye to eye with the person that we were attracted to. Everything about that person is not something that we would necessarily agree with or even like. Therefore, when we first meet someone, of course, there are certain things that we do find attractive about him or her. But then we have to take time out to get to know the person. Some people choose not to do that. I'm not judging. The bottom line is this: when people come together and when they first meet, that's the time, or that's the opportunity, to take a little time out to know the person, to learn a little bit more about the person. Because when we first meet each other, we have our representatives, okay? We have representatives, which is not necessarily always the real them. So as time goes on, sometimes what romantic couples find is that there's a lack of resonance. All right, let's move forward. Those who have a cluster B personality and those who have a narcissistic personality do not have the ability to emotionally regulate. These individuals have major impairments in interpersonal functioning in the areas of intimacy and empathy. Therefore, healthy relationships are impossible to accomplish with him or her. So there are plenty of people who have had the narcissist or the cluster B personality as a romantic partner. And what he or she has found later is that these individuals cannot have a healthy relationship with him or her, simply because their interpersonal skills or their interpersonal functioning in the areas of empathy and intimacy, they are very lacking. So these individuals don't really know how to relate or get next to other people, simply because they don't know how to emotionally regulate. They go from hot to cold. They can go from 0 to 100 with one of their unpleasant emotions, such as anger or jealousy. You never know where you stand with these individuals. So it's very hard to have an intimate relationship, a romantic relationship, a healthy relationship with these people. Let's move forward. The aftermath of having a dysfunctional relationship with a narcissist and or those with a cluster B personality is often adverse and traumatic. However, this does not mean that all is lost. There are many options to overcoming such losses and trauma. Well, unfortunately, there are many who have had romantic relationships with narcissists and or cluster B personalities only to find that it was traumatic. The aftermath was very adverse. There are many people right now who have testimonies, and they have claimed that they go through a lot of challenges after the romantic relationship with the narcissist and a cluster B personality is over. So this is something that's well known. One all has to do is check the social media. There are many testimonies of people who have shared, who were courageous enough to share their stories about how they have had romances with cluster B personality and narcissists, and how those romantic situations continue to overshadow their lives, even though the romance is over. So this is something that is quite common. So the aftermath of a dysfunctional relationship with a narcissist, you can even talk about your dysfunctional family that may have a cluster B personality or a narcissist in it. We can go to that as well. But we really want to talk about the romantic situations in this video today. Some people are ashamed. Some people are embarrassed. So they don't share their stories about having a romantic situation with a narcissist. The cluster B personality and the narcissist, they don't do healthy relationships. So their tactics for source supply usually is quite brutal in nature. There are many people, don't think that you're alone in this, because there's a lot of people who have been romantically involved with narcissists and cluster B personality, and years after it's over or the relationship has ended, they're still trying to cope and deal with the aftermath. Okay, the aftermath is usually traumatic. So they have to deal with the trauma. And that in and of itself can be quite a challenge. So there are some who have been adversely affected due to having romantic partnerships with narcissists and cluster B personality. Because I want to just mention again that the cluster B personality and the narcissist, they don't know how to emotionally regulate. So when you look at that, that pretty much is a clue that he or she will not know how to deal with issues and conflicts that normally and naturally happen or occur in every relationship. But I'm talking about the romantic relationship today. So when we're talking about those relationship issues that pop up between partners, the narcissist and the clumsy personality, they don't know how to deal. They're very emotionally immature. They don't know how to emotionally regulate. So there are certain emotions that he or she usually feel and express that will put a real damper on the relationship with their partners, such as jealousy. Can you imagine being involved with someone who's jealous of you? Some of you don't have to imagine. Some of you have gone through it. So one of the things that I recall, there was a romantic relationship that I had years ago with a cluster B personality. Thank goodness I've worked to get past it. Okay, so the pain of it is not very raw anymore. But I will share this with you. It's one of those relationships that you don't tend to forget very easily. However, you don't have to continue to be affected by it. Okay, so right now let's get into the options of overcoming such losses and trauma. Tool number 1, practice personal boundaries, assertion, emotional discipline, and self-preservation. These are all excellent methods to prepare for loving others within healthy relationships. So one way to prepare for better relationships, even a romantic relationship, is to practice personal boundaries. What goes along with that? Assertion, emotional discipline, and self-preservation. So that's a one package deal. Once a person decides that he or she is going to have better relationships, even romantic relationships, this is what that means. They're going to invest in themselves by practicing personal boundaries, assertion, emotional discipline, and self-preservation. You start doing all 4 of those things, and I can almost guarantee you're going to see some changes in your life. You're not going to put up with some of the things that you used to put up with, okay, whether you're male or female. This is just some of the things that you're going to start seeing. So practice personal boundaries, assertion, emotional discipline, and self-preservation. All of these are excellent methods to preparing yourself for healthier and more loving relationships. Tool number 2, build and work a strong support base, ensuring that it expands as you continue to grow, heal, and thrive forward. So if you have a support base and you're working that support base, you're committed to your own healing progress, and you're thriving forward, well, you're going to be growing. That's personal growth. You're not going to be afraid of making mistakes, so you can grow. As you grow, your support base will expand. If that's not happening, then either you have a weak support base or you are too afraid to live your life to the fullest. Either you're stagnant because you're in the sunken place, because you're afraid of making mistakes, such as beginning new romantic relationships. That's going to leave you stagnant. So either that's happening or you have a weak support base, whereas you don't have the tools to help you continue to thrive forward that will encourage you to practice personal boundaries, assertion, emotional discipline, and self-preservation. Every support base ought to have the tools to encourage you to do these things. If that is not happening, then you have a weak support base. And it may be time to get another support base started. But as a person grows, their support base expands. Third tool, be patient with yourself as you gradually open up to new experiences in the form of people, places, and things. So as you gradually open up to new experiences, this is another great way of growing. This is also another way of getting past the traumatic romantic relationships that you had with a narcissist, because you are exposing yourself. You're gradually opening yourself up to new experiences in your life in the form of people, places, and things. This will ensure that you will have more chances of meeting Miss Right or Mr. Right, okay, as opposed to Mr. Right Now and Miss Right Now. All right, that's another video. But anyway, when you are patient with yourself and you gradually open yourself up to new experiences, it is a game changer. Okay, it is very much a game changer, because as you expand your support base, as you are growing and you're opening yourself up to new experiences, all of that equals to your getting past the traumatic romantic relationship you had with the narcissist or cluster B personality. Because now you can meet other people. And usually those two elements, places and things, come with people. So people, places, and things, those three elements right there will get you closer to the romance that you would like, versus the ones that are very undesirable, such as with a narcissist and a cluster B personality. When you think about it, a narcissist and or a cluster B personality, they usually like you to be isolated anyway, because this will reduce your chances of meeting someone that you resonate with, someone that you will be romantically compatible with. You lessen your chances of having that experience when you are isolated and when you are afraid of living your life and opening yourself up to new experiences. That means you're stagnant. That means you are in the sunken place. That is exactly where the narcissist wants you to remain. The narcissist and cluster B personality, they're not going to be denied. They will go through as many sources of supply and targeted prey as possible. So while you're in the sunken place, that's what he or she is going to be doing. Not because you are a bad person, not because you weren't good enough. No, this is because this is who the narcissist is. The narcissist and the cluster B personality, they have a predatory nature. They're going to do what is necessary to make sure that their false self-image survives. That means at your expense and everyone else's expense. He or she will not stop just because the romantic relationship is over. They're going to continue to go through other source supply. Don't let that stop you from experiencing the romance that you would like to experience. The narcissist and the cluster B personality cares less about other people. Okay, so they're not going to be denied. So don't let that stop you. Unfortunately, there are many people who have allowed the narcissist and cluster B personalities to miss out on their life. You know, he or she is still in the sunken place. The narcissist and the cluster B personality, they're not going to stop. They're not going to miss out on other sources of supply for anyone. Critical questions. Question number 1. Have you found the purpose of each one of your most memorable relationships? Not just the relationship with the narcissist. So have you found the purpose of each one of your most memorable relationships? Not the ones just with the narcissist. One way that can help you to find the purpose is to find out what was so memorable about that relationship or those relationships. So out of all of your memorable relationships, what was it about those individuals that you found very memorable? What was it about their characteristics that you found very admirable or very pleasant for that matter? Not just the relationship with the narcissist. So have you found the purpose of all of those? This is what I did. And it opened up my eyes. It helped me to see what was it that I liked in partners. What do I find attractive in a partner in general? And how do I tend to do relationships, romantic relationships? How do I tend to show up? And how do I tend to contribute to the other person in a romantic relationship? That's what it opened my eyes up to that. So when you find what the purpose is of each relationship, it will open your eyes to that. How do you tend to do romantic relationships? And what is it that you find attractive in other romantic partners? When you're looking for a partner, what subconsciously are you looking for? So question number 1 might take a little time to answer, but it's definitely a game changer. Question number 2. If you could describe your most pleasant romantic relationship in one sentence, what would it be and why? I did this one too, and it helped me tremendously. It helped me to find out what it was I was missing in my romantic relationships currently and even some in the past? What was I missing? In other words, what was I settling for? And what was I really looking for? What was I looking for? Yet that's not what I was experiencing. So by answering question number 2, that's what I found out. Third critical question: what are your views on love, relationships, and forgiveness? Now this one is a big one, because as I stated before in the previous slide, in one of the previous slides, what I stated before in one of the previous slides is that there are a lot of romantic partners who are together, yet they don't have the same perspective when it comes to love, relationships, and forgiveness. Every relationship that you and I will have will consist of people who will disappoint and unintentionally hurt us. No way around it, folks. No way around it. So whenever you're talking about relationships with other people, I just want to tell you, I can guarantee you, you're going to experience that, which is disappointment and or hurt. No way around it. Once you get clear on your views of love, relationships, and forgiveness, you're halfway home, because you will look for relationships with people that you resonate with. Once you get that clear about yourself. So once you get clear on your views of love, relationships, and forgiveness, you will subconsciously look for other people who share your views on love, relationship, and forgiveness. And those are the individuals that you will attract and you will be attracted to. A lot of us are either having or have had romantic relationships with individuals that we don't resonate with. Some of you may be asking, well, how can that be? Easily. When you first meet somebody, you don't know their story. You don't know everything about them. Even if this is someone that you were romantically involved with before, you know a little something, but maybe you haven't seen them in a while. You have catching up to do. So what I'm about to say applies to even in that situation. You're attracted to them, yet you don't know their story behind the story. You don't know the whole story. So therefore, there's a potential for a lack of resonance with that person. I think that this third critical question is a big question, because it will help you to clear up exactly what it is you're looking for in a relationship. What are you looking for? Who are you looking for? Not only that, it will help you to prepare for the intimate relationship. It will help you to prepare for that person. It will help you to prepare for the romantic relationship, because you are investing in yourself by answering that question. What are your views on love, relationships, and forgiveness? This will absolutely give you a clearer perspective on who and what you're looking for in romantic relationships. Preparation for new romance. Have clear intentions, values, and standards. It kind of goes into that last critical question that I just asked. Okay? So have clear intentions, values, and standards. The last critical question is, what are your views on love? What are your views on a relationship? And what are your views on forgiveness? Because when it comes to romantic relationships, there will be many challenges and issues that those individuals will face in the relationship, whereas they may feel that they have been either betrayed or played by the other person. There will be disappointments and there will be hurt feelings. Okay? There will be many challenges like that, because your values go right into that. What do you value? Do you value integrity, honesty, forgiveness? Things of this sort. Do you value that? How about your standards? Do you have low standards? Are your standards a little higher? Or are they non-existent? Maybe you don't have any standards. So when you prepare for a new romance, you have to get clear on your intentions, your values, and your standards. This way you can effectively communicate that with your romantic partner. This way you will at least know if there's a lack of resonance or not. This way you will know if you're on the same page or not. All right, second preparation. Clear all toxic energy from previous relationships. That's a big one. A lot of us have romantic relationship after romantic relationship after romantic relationship, and we don't clear the energy from the previous romantic relationships. So it's almost like we're carrying all of those romantic partners with us into the new romance. Okay? It can get quite crowded. But anyway, clearing all toxic energy is a big game changer. This way, when you meet that special someone, you're not going to be overshadowed or weighed down by any particular romantic relationship from your past. Consider incorporating a healthier lifestyle. Keep a love journal featuring yourself. Find your passions. Take steps to laugh, smile, and have more fun. Perform a memorial service for past dysfunctional relationships. Envision the romance that you intend to experience. I mean, let's just face it, some people don't want to admit that they made any mistakes. They think that they're the victim in all of their romantic relationships. They think that they're the victim. And since I'm a female, I'm talking to all the ladies right now. Ladies, that is a big red flag. Whenever someone starts to talk about their past romances and they view themselves as a victim and they start to talk to you as if they're the victim, run. Don't walk, run away. Okay, that's a big flag. That's a big red flag, because that person is telling you that they don't take responsibility for what they contribute to another person's life and how they show up in a romantic relationship. They're not going to take responsibility. That's a big red flag. Okay, so now, fellas, if you're watching, same applies. Okay, whenever somebody is speaking to you and they're coming off like they're the victim in that romantic situation, run. Don't walk, run away. Because that person, when it comes to them making mistakes in their romantic situation with you, they're going to blame you. Mark my words. They're going to blame you for everything. And some of us ladies, I'm talking to the fellas right now, some of us ladies don't know how to apologize. Yes, I said it. A lot of us, I'm going to shift it to a lot of us, don't know how to take responsibility for how we show up in a relationship and for how, not only what we contribute to your life, men, but how we contribute it. Are we angry? Okay? Are we angry? Are we depressed? Do we have a substance abuse issue? Are we on prescription medications that may alter our moods? Are the hormones out of whack? I'm talking to you fellas. Okay? So when you start seeing that, don't waste your time. And ladies, I'm still with you. Okay? I'm a female. I'm a lady. I'm a woman. Okay? So I'm still with you. Okay, I'm just pretty much saying that there's a lot of people out here that don't want to take responsibility for what they do and how they show up in other people's lives. Yet they want to be loved and respected. If a person doesn't love themselves, I know it sounds cliche, but a person who doesn't love himself or herself, they're not going to be able to have an intimate relationship with someone else. They're going to be quite careless in the way they contribute to other people's lives and how they contribute. You are the new lover who is to replace the narcissist and a cluster B personality. It all begins with you. Each relationship that you have is with you as the common denominator. There isn't anything that occurs within any of your relationships without your consent. Your life has purpose enough to enjoy it with prosperity and more abundance. You do not need permission from the narcissist to reclaim your life and identity. So a lot of people who have been romantically involved with the narcissist and cluster B personality, they do lose a sense of themselves. They do feel like they've lost a lot, okay? Not just their identity, but a whole lot. They're not getting out like they used to do. They're not enjoying their lives like they used to. After being involved with the narcissist and cluster B personality, there are a lot of people who can attest that their confidence and their esteem has taken a hit. So the self-esteem and the self-confidence, once again, is not the same. A person doesn't need the permission of the narcissist or the cluster personality to reclaim their life or their identity. So you have a lot of people who they want validation, but they're not willing to learn how to validate, nor do they validate. References and resources. Please look in the description box below for the references and resources. I'm Luminousz Star. I want to thank everybody for joining me today or tonight. Wherever you may be, I wish you the best love possible. Stay tuned for more videos.